Table toppers of IPL season 2025 ended up being the runners up is the Punjab Kings. We were guaranteed a new IPL champion ahead of the final. Went on to be RCB. Punjab Kings played splendid cricket, to be honest, in that season. And I have Sandy Paji, without a doubt. How was the season? How was season 2025 under the leadership of Shreyas Iyer?
Amazing. And I think what it was the unknown factor of certain players. And I think that is going to be the biggest challenge for Punjab this year. Can Priyansh and Prabh Simran do what they did last year and go one step further? Because, we've kept the same squad. What we now need to do is keep the consistency. And, on the basis, it looks all good. But again, we need to, improve that squad in those little areas. And experience is the key for us.
Absolutely, experience is definitely going to be key for you guys. But with the way you have done your auction, and you're not just the only team that entered the IPL mini auction with less amount of purse, but what about the players you have released? And that's where our focus, first of all, will be Baji, Glenn Maxwell, Josh Inglis, Aaron Hardy, Kuldeep Sen, Praveen Dubey, and Kyle Jamieson are the players that are released. Rather, four overseas player out of the box, according to you. Your thoughts are, what is your thought process? No Glenn Maxwell, no English, no Hardy means three Australians given away. At the start of the 2025 season, we are saying this is Australia Kings more than Punjab Kings with the way Ponting has done the squad. Three Aussies out of the window. Is it considering that you have the World Cup coming up? It's less game time for workload management for them, because we are hearing English will not be present for the majority of the tournament. Have you how has been your thought process on the players you've released? Do you happy with it?
Yeah. Yeah, gutted with English. I think that's the big shock. I think we none of us expected it, and that happened. And I think the fan base was really shocked that one happened because he had started performing right at the end, and we thought, these foreign players need one good season in the IPL, and they can step up. So English was disappointing. The others, I'm not too disappointed about. I would have liked Maxi to stay maybe one more season instead of Mitch Owen, but they made a choice. Mitch Owen, they're going to keep. And Maxi says tata bye bye to Maxi, taxi for Maxi, as they say. But again, Maxi's a game changer, and I would have probably kept Maxi and let go Mitch Owen. I know a lot of fans love Mitch Owen, but again, experience, you can't buy experience. And Maxi steps up in the big games, bat, ball, or fielding. I don't see the same for Mitch Owen. So I think that was their big
He
choice.
needs time. I think Mitch Owen definitely needs time, but the big show has been released. Plenty of big names have been released. And KKR, just like KKR released Andrew Russell, similarly, Maxwell has been released by the Punjab Kings. But similarly, your thought process on the season you have played under the leadership of Shreyas Iyer, does he continue to be your captain for a longer term of the IPL, not just this season?
I think he's there for the long term. So, we'll keep him definitely for the 3 years. And then the fourth year depends on our budget and what we have to do, because obviously international caps start playing a part in decision making. So again, I think Shreyas is there for the long term. Obviously, if Punter stays there, it's a no-brainer. Our leadership is solid. They've had one season to that. They'll get to know the players. They know most of the squad. They've just got to really build up on that, and then just switch a few things where they didn't probably perform well. And our biggest problem last year was the foreign contingent. Other than Marco and then Josh Inglis at the end, the foreign
Yeah.
players didn't really perform. Stoinis was in and out. Maxwell was
Inconsistent.
inconsistent. Yeah, so getting the foreign player basis, got two spots for foreigners, is getting the right players involved in that, and I think that then we will be good to go.
Absolutely, definitely, it is certainly to be good to go. But your thoughts on the spin web of Yuzvendra Chahal and Harpreet Brar, how crucial have been there for last season, especially Chahal, because he doesn't get into opportunities in Indian colors, but he's certainly there for India whenever required. But for PBKS, he's leading the pack once again in the spin department.
Massive risk for Yuzvinder for me. If he gets injured, we don't have any backup. So I think in the auction, that is going to be the key spot for us, because we had Praveen Dubey last season, but he didn't perform. There's rumours of Rahul Chahar coming back. I don't think that is the solution for us. And I've been toying with Adam Zampa. Get him. We have one foreign slot available. If
And he has
he
been
gets
released by SRH, so that's a very good opportunity for you.
It's a very good opportunity, and he gets us the Australian quarterback. So I think, I think that will be very important, and he could be an X factor. So I think that might be something that the management might look at, an experienced spinner who's proven quality at the high level. And we saw even with the 100, he came one day
Hmm.
before, and he took
True,
the 100
true.
away with him. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I say that because Zampa has not been looked much because of an overseas quota in the IPL, but he was fantastic whenever he played for the Rising Super Pune Super Giants when MS Dhoni was there. But I think if he gets a longer run, he's certainly going to be one of the leading wicket takers in the tournament. But will he get a run? And I think I agree with your point because even Punjab Kings may not need a leg spinner because they already have Yuzvendra Chahal. But if you need a backup in conditions like a Chennai or maybe a ranked in Kolkata or Lucknow, you certainly have Adam Zampa, your perfect second spinner in the lead attack. But I really want to know the thought process of releasing English. Is it only the reason behind not being available for the majority part of the next season? Is that the reason? Wouldn't you have risked him and had him for just one season, considering that he will not play, be available for the next season because he was the best overseas player for you last season?
Yes, I think there's personal issues around why he's not attending the full season. And again, for a team, if you're not playing the full season, I think for we've now learned that IPL is going to be based. You've got to be there, not just at the start of the tournament. You have to be there at the end of the tournament. So if he's going to miss any of that cricket, then it might have been an issue. We will see what happens on the 16th in the auction. If his name appears on there, then I think there's something that's gone on behind the scenes. But I'm not going to speculate. I trust punter. I trust the franchise implicitly saying that there's an issue with availability, and on that basis they made that decision. So I'm pretty comfortable with what's happened there. I don't think anything with bad intentions on English's part or the franchise's part has taken place. It's just a matter of him not being there or committing himself to the full IPL season. And we've learned now, even say at the end of the tournament, had
Yep.
Mark Cole carried on playing for us, I think that final would have been a very different result. So we did
True,
we
true.
did do that. Yeah.
Absolutely, but you're entering the auction with 11.5 CR, and that's where I come to the key strategies and targets you need to make in the IPL mini auction 2026. 11.50 is the amount you're entering with just four slots available, and I understand the reason we are going behind that. But you've released a couple of big names, and with the likes of Maxwell there, Aaron Hardy, Kyle Jamieson, three all rounders, couple of them bowling all rounders. Are you thinking about somebody like a Cameron Green? I think he's going to go out of your budget. That's going to be one player gone, and your entire budget is there.
I am going to go a bit left field. I'm going to go for Johnny Bairstow to come
Johnny
in.
Bairstow, okay,
Johnny Bairstow to
interesting.
come back in to Punjab Kings and bat him at three. I think that's the key position for us. Shreyas,
So
we've
where does
seen
Shears bat? Four.
at number four. At number four after the
Okay,
power play. I think that
okay.
will be the sensible option. Johnny Baba knows the franchise, considerable amount of IPL experience, will be available for the whole length of the tournament. And we saw that little cameo in the playoff game for Mumbai Indians.
Mumbai
When
Indians.
he's
Yeah.
on form, he's on fire. So I think that's something that we could do. And again, we've spent 2.6 crore on Josh English. We could probably get Johnny Baba for cheaper. Again, he knows the franchise, he knows the coaching setup. I would say Johnny Baba, and the other one could be obviously if you go for Zampa, then it's another foreign bowler, a bowler that we would need, unless we go for someone like a Simranjeet. That could be a potential for us because he bowls very well
Okay.
in
Okay.
Mullanpur.
But you talk about the bowling department, Baji. You have a spinner sorted, but what about your Indian pace attack? You just have only relying on Arshdeep Singh. Are you thinking of an overseas seamer out there? Because in the last 12 months, especially, a couple of Kiwis have stood out, and one is Jacob Duffy, and the other is Matt Henry.
Yeah, I think Jacob Duffy might be a good shout. Again, I don't know the demand for that player. He's one of the top ranked T20 players. So again, he could fit in there. Matt Henry blew hot and cold last season when he came in as a injury substitute. So maybe Jacob Duffy could be that person. But again, we've got a big problem in Lockie. I think Lockie's our problem because Lockie is a brilliant player. I love him to bits. I saw him bowl well for the Trent Rockets in the 100. Saw him live at Edgbaston as well. The guy is on fire. He's on fire. But that injury problem to Lockie means that Punjab might go into without a front quality seamer. So, okay, there's a lot of talk about Akib Navi coming in. And if we can get him, that could be, a 4 to 5 crore player for us. And again, the thing is, he knows the conditions. He bowls very good line and length. So they may go that route. They may go for a spinner and obviously a wicket keeper because Prab doesn't wicket keep well, in my opinion. They could go for like a Johnny Bairstow. Seifert's been mentioned. There's
Okay.
a couple of
Yeah, Team
foreign
Seifert,
players mentioned.
fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely, plenty of Finn Allen is there too. So many destructive openers are there. Overseas openers, you want a certain number three. That's very interesting to hear. Seamers also, I have a couple of them. But Indian seamers, are you going for maybe a Kuldeep Sen or a Akash Deep or an Akash Madwal in your Indian seamer backup lineup?
Akash Madwal is a good shout. I wouldn't mind him, but I'm more Simranjeet Singh. I think he's
Okay.
got the pace. He'll suit Mulampur. He played against us last season in Mulampur and bowled absolutely amazingly. I watched that game live. So I think that might be a good shot for Punjab. Again, the wicket being quick there, and also obviously playing at Dharamshala. That bit of
Yeah.
extra pace. He goes for runs, but he can also take wickets. So if Simranjeet comes good, that'd be good. Akash Madwal, I think he might be a good shot for us as well. And maybe we bring back Mohit Sharma.
Oh
Mohit
wow,
played
that's
for
a good
us.
shout. Yeah.
Yeah, Mohit played for us for a while, and again he bowled well at Mulampur. I've seen him a couple of times at Mulampur, and he seems there. And again, he gives us that bit of experience, at the death as well. So, but yeah, I think there's options in the Indian fast bowling market. It's probably going to be better for us than the foreign market. That's why I'm going to go for maybe Johnny Bairstow as an experienced batsman, and then obviously Zampa, because I can't see the experienced spin coming in unless they go for Chahar again.
So, which department are you certainly focusing with the very least amount of 11.5 CR you're entering to the auction with? Is it a destructive opener, an overseas opener at the number three? Are you going for a spinner, an overseas seamer? Which department?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely a player like Johnny Bairstow, an experienced professional, knows the league as your foreign player, because obviously we've got to replace Josh Inglis, and we haven't got that in our. We've got Vishnu Vinod, but I don't think he's going to be up to the task. So I'm definitely going to go for maybe Gurbaz, maybe Johnny Bairstow, or maybe a Seifert to cover the Josh Inglis gap, and then also look at maybe an Indian overseas spinner, and that would be Zampa, and then I would concentrate on the other two slots. I would go, two Indian quick bowlers, whether that be
Okay.
Akib Nabi or whether that be Simranjeet or a Jacob Duffy if they want to go that way. So I think we need quality replacements for the ones that have left, and those that
True.
are likely to be playing. So I think
True.
for me, Johnny Baba walks into number three in our team, and I think that's a great shout for him.
It's a certain big. Constantly, you're talking about how Johnny Bestow's experience can come in handy. But at the moment, Paji, your thoughts about the entire squad you have retained, and more or less, it's a very good squad because White's in something that is not broken. You played really well last season, finished at the top where Shashank Singh's manifestation worked out. Then you couldn't get over the line in the final, unfortunately. But may I know the reason of the role of Azmatullah Omarzai in the side? Quality player, what an all-rounder, top all-rounder in this format as well. Is
Yeah.
he looked into as the only position that is the backup for Marco Jansen, or does he have a different role too?
Well, he can play for Stoin as well. So that's the thing, isn't it? Stoin is in his batting element. So if we have Omar Zai, again, that's the other thing. Omar Zai, we're expecting to improve from last season. Whereas, he had a good season, but he could have played better, and consistency from him. But again, at the other end of the table, we look at the stars of our season last season. It was definitely Prab Simran. It was definitely Priyan Sharia, giving us those really, really quick starts. And then obviously we knew we had the experiment with Shreyas at three, it didn't work. And then we moved Josh English to three. So I think the top three is very, very important for Punjab Kings. If they
Hmm.
fire, then the bowling comes in later. And again, because we have Marco, we have Stoinis, we also
Nihal
have,
Vadera.
we have Shashank coming in at, possibly 5 or 6 as well. So we have the batting depth
Yep.
is there. The bowling, the death bowling, I think that's going to be key. Who is going to accompany Arshdeep at the end? I think at the start we
True.
can we can do things, but it's the death bowling, and that's where we've lost it before.
That is
And
going to be
obviously,
very, very important. Absolutely. You need enough experience alongside an Arshdeep Singh in that bowling department. But what about the playing 11? As things stands with the retained squad you have gone, what is the best possible 11 for the Punjab Kings? And if you look into the screen, Paji, I've
yeah,
gone with my possible 11 or 9 players. That is, Prabsimran Singh and Priyan Sharia are continuing as my openers. Shreyas Iyer captain at number 3, captain, and at number 4, I've left a vacant spot. That is where your Johnny Besto comes in at 3 and Shreyas Iyer at 4 probably. Nihal Vadera, Marcus Stoinis, Shashank Singh at 5, 6, and 7. Without a doubt, fantastic. Marco Jansen at number 8. That's where at number 9 you need an Indian seamer alongside an Arshdeep Singh at 10. Yuzvendra Chahal at 11. That's where the 2 pointers you mentioned. You need a top order. Number 3, destructive. You need a Zampa down the order. Also, you mentioned about the Indian seamer.
Yeah, as I said, I think the ninth position would be it's the impact player rule. You'd probably get an Indian seamer in there, and the two that come to mind for me is definitely Simrajit, Akib Navi. Those are the two that I would like to see. But again, I'm not
Mhm.
sure about Umran Malik. I think Umran Malik at Punjab Kings might be a little good cheeky bet for us because I think that player there's a player there. He's been injured for a few seasons. But I think he has a very
But
good
that's at
relationship.
a raw pace, and you already have a Lockie Ferguson in your side. Would you be once also tempted to have another raw pace in Indian flair in this squad?
Yes, because Lockie's injury record is pretty shocking. So again, I think that's the differential for us. Obviously, we have the left arm seam in Arshdeep, and in some certain grounds, the dimensions will suit us having a right arm bowler. A quick bowler at the end who can bowl those Yorkers consistently right at the death. And I've been watching a bit of Akib Navi, and I really like the look of him. So I think that could be one.
Yeah,
But I think a lot of teams will go for him. So whether he goes for around the 5-6 crore,
yeah.
and then
He
we
was
would struggle.
fantastic in the Ranji Trophy.
Yeah, then we will struggle to attract him.
Fair
So
enough.
I think we've
Fair
got to
enough.
be
Absolutely.
smart.
You've got a few
Yeah,
few names. You need to be smart, 100%. That's where, because the limited amount of budget you have, just a handful amount of players you can keep. So the majority of the entire day in the auction table, you need to be quiet, but you need to have your targets ready, and that's where you need to
yeah.
thrive. But as of now, with the retentions you have made, what is your rating out of 10, Paji?
For me, it's an 8 out of 10 retention for us. What I would have done differently from the management, I would have probably got rid of Mitch Owen. I would have got rid of Yash Tucker, definitely because Yash Tucker didn't perform for me. So those two probably were the main ones that probably would have tried to get some more money from. The other ones, Rashid Khan, I would have kept him, and I'm looking forward to someone like Harnoor Pannu stepping up because he's
Yeah.
played really well in Ranji and he knows Mulampur really well. So maybe he gets a chance. But again, I think we couldn't really tinker anymore. I think probably another 2 or 3 crore, 4 crore, 15 crore. I probably would have been happy because that would mean that we could get somebody in the
Yeah.
8 crore bracket, 8-9 crore bracket, which would have strengthened the team. But now we probably have to look at the market, and we probably will, 3.5, 4 crore maximum. That's probably the most we could spend on these three players. Otherwise, we will run out of budget.
You
So
sort of need to enter the auction with a few low cost, skillful players rather than going for a big star. That's what he said. If you had a 15 CR, you may have gone for a big star of 8 to 9 crore and then fill the voids for the other of the spots. But that's all. 8 out of 10, says Paji, according to him. Table toppers last season around. This time also they're looking hungry. Shreyas Iyer as well, a champion cricketer. He will lead the side once again for the Punjab Kings. Can they get one more step further? They came runners up last season. Can they go one more step further and lift the trophy? That's going to be the only thing we will see. Thanks a lot, Paji. Thanks to all the viewers for watching this video. It's the Punjab Kings. We're all set and ready for IPL 2026.
come on, Punjab.
We are building India's smartest cricket community. Subscribe to become a part of it.